Hello everybody, my name is Andrew Moran. I'm a certified payments professional with Merchant Solutions LLC. I help businesses more efficiently accept credit card transactions. Check out the link below in the description if you want some more info. But let's just jump right into it. This is a Verifone VX520 terminal. It's a very common terminal. It's actually the one that we deploy most often. Like any device, there's always going to be some questions, same questions that a lot of times I get over and over. So quick video to address some of those. One of the first questions I'll get very often is that people say that they bought paper and the paper doesn't fit in the terminal. Very simple. There are actually two different versions of the Verifone VX520. The one that has the 4 lights on it is the contactless version. There is also a non-contactless version. It does not have the 4 lights. Otherwise, they're the exact same terminal. One little difference, though, is they take 2 different size rolls of paper. They're both 2 1/4 inches. The only difference is this is an 85-foot roll. This is a 50-foot roll. This one will fit right into the terminal as such. If you do get this roll by mistake, you could always just strip some of this paper off, and then it'll fit in. So that's first. Next, I get calls all the time. Help, my terminal doesn't work. What does it say? Well, it says Commserver or Softpay. Might also say credit debit. Real easy. In this case, it's always not Commserver. It's either Softpay, credit debit. That's going to bring you to the screen where you can process a transaction. So next, let's look at a basic connectivity issue that we will see very often. We'll insert a card, processing, and Datawire Error 1007. You might get that. Depending on your setup, you might also get a TCP error. You'll often get a no-line error. Either way, it's telling you that the internet is not connected to the terminal. You might have internet, but it's saying that the internet is not connecting to the terminal. So a couple things. First, obviously we're unplugged just to demonstrate that. I'll see people plug into this port very often. It says RS232. This is not the right port. This is the port for your PIN pad. The port you need to plug into says ETH for Ethernet. So that is the first thing. Second, the next thing is to run a repair function. So to do that, you're going to hit the star button. You're going to go back out to the Commserver, press the button for the tools, and then press repair. So this will repair the connection on the terminal. Press any key, hit the red button to get back out, star button back to here, and then again go back to your Softpay. And once you do that, you should be able to run a transaction. Let's just make sure. And there you go. So that's a basic transaction. If that all fails, the next step is you really have to start power cycling things. So that would involve go to your modem, unplug the modem, unplug the router, unplug the terminal, and then replug it back in that order. So plug in the modem, give it a minute for all the lights to light up on your modem, plug in the router, likewise let everything light up. And then, once everything is lit up, plug the terminal back in. So that's the next one. Another one that I get all the time is people will tell me that their keyboard's locked. They'll go to run a sale, they'll get keyboard locked. They have to keep putting in a password to get in to process transactions. This is the easiest fix in the world. Just hold down the number 8. It's going to ask you for the password, 1 alpha alpha 66831. That's the most common password, 1 alpha alpha 66831. That'll be in the description below as well. It'll ask you keyboard locked, yes or no. You're just going to say no. Now the keyboard is unlocked. So that's that. Another one that I'll get very often, in the spring, people will call me and tell me, hey, my batch is closing too early. I'm getting a settlement before I'm actually closed for business. In the fall, I get the complaint that people will call saying, hey, my deposit started suddenly coming a day later. Really simple. This very often has to do with the time being incorrect. When the clock updates, your terminal does not update. You have to manually tell it to update. So in order to do that, real easy, hit the green button. You're going to go to Setup. It's going to ask you for the password. Again, that's typically 1 alpha alpha 66831. Enter. And you're going to scroll down here a few times until you see date and time. Select that. You're going to enter the date and you're going to enter the time in 24-hour format. So it's about 1:30 right now. And that'll bring you back out. So now you've got the correct date and time on there. Another one that I'll get very often is people will say that on a receipt it'll be printing very lightly. So these are actually a thermal printer. There is no ink cartridge to change in them. What does end up happening though is over time the thermal printer gets gummed up. So if you look right here, just above where this green strip is, that's the thermal printer. Easiest thing to do is to get that to work, alcohol. Just clean it with some alcohol, put this on a paper towel. Rub it on there very gently because it is a thermal printer, and very oftentimes that'll clean up the printing so that you get a nice dark receipt. And here's a bonus tip for those of you using a Verifone 805 PIN pad along with your terminal. Very often you'll get a scenario, I'll get calls where clients will say, they input an amount on here, press the green button, and instead of this actually asking them to insert their card, this just still says welcome and nothing happens. There's a very easy fix for that. Basically what happens is when the terminal reboots, the terminal will oftentimes reboot faster than the PIN pad, so the terminal can't find the PIN pad. So how do you fix that? Green button. You're going to press the down arrow once, go to PIN pad utility. It's going to ask for the password again, which is again usually 1 alpha alpha 66831, and the green button. It's going to say XPRC EM device, yes or no. Just select yes. It's going to try the BAUD again. That's going to reconnect it back to the PIN pad. Cancel back out of here, and you are free to run your sale.